We head to a new venue and a new county tonight with High School Sports Live TV's Game of the Week. Good evening, everyone. High School Sports Live is proud to present the Columbia Crimson Tide, 13-2, 3-0 in Section 4 of the Lancaster Mennonite League. Holding court here tonight against Lancaster Mennonite, also 3-0 in Section 4. A battle for first place here this evening and 10-5 overall. This broadcast tonight brought to you in partnership with Fox 43. Tonight's live broadcast is made possible by our premier sponsor, the Pennsylvania Housing Finance Agency, F&M Trust Bank, and also Jack Giambalvo Family of Dealerships. I'm Gary Sutton. Good evening, everyone, and welcome. Kirk Smallwood with me on the right, Jeff Thompson on the left, both fabulous coaches, and it's great to be here tonight in my old digs, from the old days when I coached back in 1897, I think. But anyway, a lot of fun tonight, and this is a great game because these two teams are fighting for first place in Section 4 of the Lancaster Mennonite League. And when we talk about this team, Seth Buckwalter's brought here tonight from Solanco, I'm saying Solanco, excuse me, from this
Lancaster Mennonite.
Lancaster Mennonite team. I'll spit it out here eventually. You know, we talk about a lot of injuries this year with this team, but one of the guys we'll talk about tonight is Xavier Sumrall. Talk a little bit about him and this team.
Well, this team it's been snake bitten, as you said, by the injury bug. But Xavier has been shooting it up all year. He's got really good range on his three-point shot. Played point guard last year, but he's been pushed off the point by a ninth grader, Chase Hurst. And he'll be fun to watch in the next 3 years because he can really handle the ball. But they've also got a big guy in the middle called David Weaver, about 6'7", and he can block some shots.
You talk about big guys out of the game. How about Camden Hurst, averaging 25 points a game, an all-stater from last year. He's not playing tonight. He's got 2 more weeks to recover from a broken hand. So we're going to see what happens there tonight. On the other side, you got a guy from some pretty good lineage. His dad played for Clemson and Temple. We're talking about Breelon Miller. Let's talk about him, Coach.
Breelon Miller. He's the son of Johnny Miller. And one of the things I asked him is, you know, did your dad ever tell you about the 5:30 practices? He said, no, he never mentioned that. I said, but, you know, he's a very solid kid. He said he's more of a slasher. He's working on his jumper. He's a junior, 15.3 game. And with him and Jordan Poole, they make a heck of a duo for Crimson Tide.
And you take a look at these two coaches today, Seth Buckwalter and also Kerry Glover, two coaches that have done a lot in their 5 and 7 seasons respectively. Buckwalter with 2 back-to-back district championships. Kerry Glover, the defending one from Section 5 last year, and has taken his team deep into the States in a number of years. So you got 2 coaches tonight. They play exciting style of basketball. It's going to be a lot of fun here this evening, and you don't want to miss a minute of it right here. It's a High School Sports Live TV Game of the Week, live from Columbia here tonight on Fox 43.2.
More choices, more laughter, more time to play, and less need to worry. At Capital Blue Cross, we're driven by a simple goal: to go the extra mile for you through all of life's ups and downs, and to always be there when you need us. Capital Blue Cross, going the extra mile for you.
Groff Tractor is your full-line equipment dealer representing Case Construction and many other leading brands, serving the total sales, rentals, parts, and service needs of its customer. Students, begin your professional journey in a high-demand field with Groff Tractor. Contact us today to discover the power of our technician internship programs. Groff Tractor also offers scheduled maintenance along with 24/7 emergency service. Groff Tractor is your #1 source for everything under construction.
The Jack Giambalvo family of dealerships. 9 great franchises in 5 locations. Buick GMC, Hyundai, Genesis of York, Stettler Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, Giambalvo Hyundai of Hanover, and our newest dealership, Jack Giambalvo Mazda. The Giambalvo family of dealerships. Over 30 million in new and pre-owned inventory. With a reputation for quality service after the sale. Giambalvo is proud to serve your community. Find out why. The Jack Giambalvo family of dealerships. 5 great locations. Online at giambalvo.com.
So a while back, I thought to myself, I'm never going to own a home. I'm going to have to rent forever. I didn't have money for a down payment. I had no credit history, and I just got out of a divorce. But PHFA showed me that home ownership is possible. They offer me a low-interest mortgage and a way to manage the closing cost. To me, this is more than just my home. It's a huge accomplishment and a new chapter in my life, thanks to PHFA.
Everybody knows Hoffman has it. Did you know Hoffman has even more? There's the fully stocked Hoffman Ford Parts and Accessories Department, the Hoffman state-of-the-art collision facility, confidence in our ultra-modern service facility, peace of mind with master technicians, satisfaction with low prices.
Do I really need to say it again? Hoffman has it.
Only at Hoffman Ford, Colonial Park.
Hoffman Ford, just what you're looking for. Hoffman has it.
You may recycle your electronics, appliances, and mercury thermostats at the Dauphin County Recycling Center.
In addition to 8 local drop-off sites for recyclable materials.
Recycling matters in Dauphin County.
Since 2001, Dauphin County has recycled over 10,000 tons of electronics.
And 1.6 million tons of recyclables like cardboard and plastics.
Keep up the great work.
Bring it on!
All across Pennsylvania, families are living their lives in their own homes. Not long ago, none of these families believed it possible. And then they discovered there was someone who could help. What was once only a dream is now a reality. Welcome home.
Where were you last night? Do you know how embarrassing that was for me? No. Don't deflect. Well, that wasn't passive-aggressive. Listen, I just need to know that I can trust you're gonna be there when I need you. Hello? Our money just hung up on me.
Not cool.
Track your spending with our personal finance tool. Just another way to have better conversations with your money from F&M Trust.
We wake up with the sun. We live in a place we're proud to call home. For us, it's knowing that those we help are neighbors, friends, family. As the leader in providing the best orthopedic care for our community, we come together to do our part.
More choices, more laughter, more time to play, and less need to worry. At Capital Blue Cross, we're driven by a simple goal: to go the extra mile for you through all of life's ups and downs, and to always be there when you need us. Capital Blue Cross, going the extra mile for you.
Hi, I'm Charlie Fortney with High School Sports Live. Gary Sutton's been a longtime announcer for us. For over 10 plus years, he's been anchoring football, basketball. He's special to us, but let me tell you something. He's really special to the Columbia community. Back in 1987, he coached them to a state championship, the only one in over 100 years. Take a look at this clip and see how the Columbia community recognized Gary for all of his accomplishments.
Our next inductee is Coach Gary Sutton. When Gary was named the head coach, the basketball program was coming off 2 sub-500 seasons. When Principal Elmer Crosser hired Gary, he told him to put Columbia basketball back on the map. Gary took over in 1983 and ushered in 5 years, which he themed as a new beginning. Coach Sutton started out with plenty of enthusiasm, and after 3 building block years, Sutton's program picked up plenty of steam and earned a very good resume in 1986. As the Tide checked in at 16-7 and made the district playoffs for the 3rd year in a row. The Tide ventured into the state playoffs for the first time that year in 15 years. Starting in 1987 season, he had a very good nucleus of returning players, including senior co-captains Brian Smith and Andy Lang, senior Bo Draper, juniors Al Ellis Jr., Chris File, John Sheets, Southmore's Kerry Smith, Chris Seasock, Michael Burke III, and Matt Phillips, and a newcomer you may have heard of, his name was freshman Mike Whistler. Expectations of having a great season were very high. However, the season did not start out very well. The Tide lost their first 2 games and 5 of the next 7. The fans were obviously getting restless. They righted the sinking ship by winning 13 of their next 14 games, finishing second in the section. The Tide entered district play on a 6-game winning streak, and hopes were high again for a deep run into playoffs. The Tide won the first game in a blowout, 101-59 over Upper Dauphin, and the second game, 46-45 over Kutztown. However, they lost to Trinity and Holy Name to finish 4th in the district, 2A. At this point, a strong run in the state playoffs seemed like a long shot. In a first-round trip to Scranton against heavily favored District 2 champ Riverside, Columbia regrouped before a handful of Columbia faithfuls and won 61-54. Up next was a win against Wyalusing, 75-57. That set the stage for a clash with District 1 champion powerhouse Bristol with 2 Division I players on their team. With Sutton doing a masterful job of confusing Bristol, big game performances by Whistler, Smith, and Farringer, along with clutch foul shooting by the whole team, a final of 30-35 at the foul line, the Tide pulled out an 82-76 win to move on to the Eastern Regional Finals in a rematch against Trinity. The Tide managed to win an emotional game when then become Bo, the legend Draper, tracked down a Brian Smith missed shot and laid it in with 1 second for a 43-42 win. Sutton stated, "I couldn't have written a better fairy tale better than this. This is what we aimed for when I took this job 5 years ago to reach states. I never thought in my wildest imagination I'd ever be here." A one-loss District 5 champ Winbar was the only team standing in the way of Columbia's quest for a PIAA 2A state championship on March 28, 1987, at the Hershey Park Arena. Columbia could now dream about what was unthinkable only a few months ago. The Tide was up to the task, beating Windsor 49-43 behind Brian Smith's 20 points and Chris File's 6 or 7 foul shooting in the final 92 seconds to ice the game. Columbia had its first state championship in school history, and Coach Sutton granted an Elmer Prize for his wish. I would say this puts Columbia back on the map. Gary also coached at Susquehanna High School, Townsend University, and Millersville University. He returned to CHS to coach the girls varsity basketball team from 2009 to 2012. He was voted the LL League Coach of the Year in 1987. Gary coached the National AAU NIT National Championship Girls Basketball Team, America's Stats Games National Championship Team, and the Keystone State Championship teams. He was inducted into the York Sports Night Hall of Fame. Gary is currently the host of a weekly radio talk show on WSBA. The show was voted Associated Press Show of the Year in PA and National Association Broadcaster Show of the Year as a talk show host. Gary lives in Dover, PA with his wife Deborah and is the father of his daughter Suzanne. And if you look at the banner, 1987 PIA champions. Give it up for Coach Gary Sutton.
More choices, more laughter, more time to play, and less need to worry. At Capital Blue Cross, we're driven by a simple goal: to go the extra mile for you through all of life's ups and downs, and to always be there when you need us. Capital Blue Cross, going the extra mile for you.
Groff Tractor is your full-line equipment dealer representing Case Construction and many other leading brands, serving the total sales, rentals, parts, and service needs of its customer. Students, begin your professional journey in a high-demand field with Groff Tractor. Contact us today to discover the power of our technician internship programs. Groff Tractor also offers scheduled maintenance along with 24/7 emergency service. Groff Tractor is your #1 source for everything under construction.
The Jet Giambavo family of dealerships. 9 great franchises in 5 locations. Buick GMC, Hyundai, Genesis of York, Stettler Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, Giambavo Hyundai of Hanover, and our newest dealership, Jack Giambavo Mazda. The Giambavo family of dealerships. Over 30 million in new and pre-owned inventory. With a reputation for quality service after the sale, Giambavo is proud to serve your community. Find out why. The Jack Giambavo family of dealerships. 5 great locations. Online at giambavo.com.
So a while back, I thought to myself, I'm never going to own a home. I'm going to have to rent forever. I didn't have money for a down payment. I had no credit history, and I just got out of a divorce. But PHFA showed me that home ownership is possible. They offer me a low-interest mortgage and a way to manage the closing cost. To me, this is more than just my home. It's a huge accomplishment and a new chapter in my life, thanks to PHFA.
Where were you last night? Do you know how embarrassing that was for me? No. Don't deflect. Well, that wasn't passive aggressive. Listen, I just need to know that I can trust you're gonna be there when I need you. Hello? Our money just hung up on me.
Not cool.
Track your spending with our personal finance tool. Just another way to have better conversations with your money. From F&M Trust.
You may recycle your electronics, appliances, and mercury thermostats at the Dauphin County Recycling Center.
In addition to 8 local drop-off sites for recyclable materials.
Recycling matters in Dauphin County.
Since 2001, Dauphin County has recycled over 10,000 tons of electronics.
And 1.6 million tons of recyclables like cardboard and plastics.
Keep up the great work.
Bring it on!
We wake up with the sun. We live in a place we're proud to call home. For us, it's knowing that those we help are neighbors, friends, family. As the leader in providing the best orthopedic care for our community, we come together to do our part.
Everybody knows Hoffman has it. Did you know Hoffman has even more? There's the fully stocked Hoffman Ford Parts and Accessories Department, the Hoffman state-of-the-art collision facility, confidence in our ultra-modern service facility, peace of mind with master technicians, satisfaction with low prices.
Do I really need to say it again? Hoffman has it.
Only at Hoffman Ford, Colonial Park.
Hoffman Ford, just what you're looking for. Hoffman has it.
And welcome back to Elmer Chrysler Gymnasium in Columbia, Pennsylvania. It's a Lancaster Lebanon League matchup here tonight for first place in Section 4. It's Lancaster Mennonite with a record of 10-5, 3-0 in the Section 4 division. On the other side, Columbia 13-2, and they are 3-0 as well in Section 4. Elmer Chrysler Gymnasium, named after my mentor, who hired me to a job here years ago. And I'll tell you what, it's always great to come back here. Grand capacity in this gymnasium is 600 people. And I think we've got a few of them in here tonight, guys. Kirk Smallwood, Jeff Thompson with me. And for both you guys, it's the first time in this facility tonight. Your thoughts, Coach Smallwood?
I thought I was at the YMCA in Harrisburg for a minute. But I tell you, this atmosphere is incredible. The crowd is very anticipatory of a very, very good game. And I'm really enjoying myself.
How about you, Jeff?
It's a small community. It's a big town, though. It's a really big town, and it's fun to be here. There's so many dignitaries here from Columbia. You could shake a stick at them.
It's a lot of fun here, and I'll tell you what, sits on the top of a hill, and Columbia's made it this year, so when you come up that hill, you're thinking long and hard about what you're going to face because these guys are quick. But this is a Solanco team that has a lot of pedigree, too. They won a couple of district championships back-to-back, and they're used to playing great competition. So we're looking for a really good matchup here tonight. With Columbia, you're going to see a lot of pressing. They go mano-a-mano with you. They'll zone trap you. On the other side, Solanco, I said Solanco, Lancaster Mennonite. I keep on confusing the black and gold here. Lancaster Mennonite has been nursing all kinds of injuries this year, so it's going to be interesting tonight to see what they can do. They got a guy out of the game with 25-point average who's going to be back in about 2 weeks. So they're still working their way through. They've won some games like over Steelton the other week by 14, even without him. So they're a team that has good skill, great coach here, and both coaches tonight coming to this game, and they're both really, really tough coaches. We're looking forward to see what they can do here this evening. 1:43 to go until we get started on this one. It's all being brought to you tonight by the Pennsylvania Housing Finance Agency. Our officials for this evening, J. Thomas Everly, Brian London, and Kirk Lynn will be officiating tonight. We were talking about the coaches here, and Kerry Glover is in his 7th season here. He's 102-57. LL Hoops Coach of the Year in 2020, 2021, and 2022. PIA qualifier in 2017, 2020, 2022. District 3 runner-up in 2021, and last year the 3A champs in District 3.
One of the things that Coach Glover's looking forward to is defending his district and section title.
Absolutely, and you look at these guys coming in here tonight. Seth Buckwalter on the other side in his 5th year as a varsity head coach here. 68-47, he won the section title in 2018 and 19, AA District 3 champions in 2021 and 2022, and it's just an outstanding job, and came in for a legendary guy when he stepped in there at Lancaster Mennonite. I got it all right finally.
He sure did, and he was an outstanding basketball player at Bloomsburg, just like Elmer Kreiser.
Let's take a look right now at our starting lineups here tonight as we get ready to present this game to you. And our starting lineups, first of all, for Lancaster Mennonite, you see David Weaver, Jordan Lilly, Miles Halverson, who averages 12.8 points a game, Xavier Sumrall, who averages 12.6, and Chase Hurst, a freshman, who is the brother of Camden Hurst, who's not in the game tonight, has had some big games lately, 20 against Steel High the other week. On the other side, you got a Columbia team. You won't see a big guy in the middle here. They're quick, though. Jordan Poole, Arthur Poindexter, Dejan Giles. Quilon Miller is averaging 16 a game. He leads all in scoring. And Aiden Miller, a guy who's kind of a hard-nosed player on the inside. He's the closest thing to a center that they have. And that's what you're going to be looking at here tonight, our F&M Trust starters here this evening. We're getting ready for our national anthem here in just a moment. And the buzz is on here at Columbia tonight. Again, it doesn't take a whole lot of people to fill this place up. So we're going to take a break. We'll come back. We'll get started for this game here tonight. A Section 4 slowdown, or not a slowdown, it'll be a quick up actually. A Section 4 showdown here tonight, as it is Lancaster Mennonite going up against Columbia. And here the Mennonite starters are coming out right now, as you see, and we mentioned a moment ago. And I would say, Coach, the reception here in Columbia maybe isn't exactly what you'd expect, right?
Not at all. I tell you, the atmosphere here is wonderful, man. It's just the epitome of what high school basketball should be.
Would you say the fans are rabid?
Yes.
Weaver, Lilly, Halverson, Sumrall, and Hurst. Hurst is averaging 6.9 a game. Sumrall at 12.6. Halverson at 12.8. Lilly at 3.8. And David Weaver at 11.5. And now the Tide. With their clapping, they do this for every game. So they work into kind of a frenzy. Jordan Poole is the first one to step out there for the Tide. Jordan Poole averaging 13.47 points a game. Artie Poindexter out there as well. Dejan Giles, who's a quarterback of the football team, 6.8 points a game. Artie Poindexter at 7.87 points a game. Breland Miller at 16 points a game. And Aiden Miller, who averages about 2 points a game, and that's the Tide's starting lineup. We'll take a break. We'll come right back. We're all ready to start this one. It's Lancaster Mennonite and Columbia on Fox 43.2.
You may recycle your electronics, appliances, and mercury thermostats at the Dauphin County Recycling Center.
In addition to 8 local drop-off sites for recyclable materials.
Recycling matters in Dauphin County.
Since 2001, Dauphin County has recycled over 10,000 tons of electronics.
And 1.6 million tons of recyclables like cardboard and plastics.
Keep up the great work.
Bring it on!
The Jet Giambavo family of dealerships. 9 great franchises in 5 locations. Buick GMC, Hyundai, Genesis of York, Stettler Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, Giambavo Hyundai of Hanover, and our newest dealership, Jack Giambavo Mazda. The Giambavo family of dealerships. Over 30 million in new and pre-owned inventory. With a reputation for quality service after the sale, Giambavo is proud to serve your community. Find out why. The Jack Giambavo family of dealerships. 5 great locations. Online at giambavo.com.
All across Pennsylvania, families are living their lives in their own homes. Not long ago, none of these families believed it possible. And then they discovered there was someone who could help. What was once only a dream is now a reality. Welcome home.
And welcome back. Welcome back to Elmer Chrysler Gymnasium here in Columbia, Pennsylvania. Elmer Chrysler was the head coach here from 1960 to 1970, and he lost 11 home games in 11 seasons.
Whoa.
He was a guy that walked around the community and put baskets up on poles everywhere and started a night court, put lights up and struck them through the trees, and it was the first night court in Columbia.
I like that guy, Gary. I like that guy.
And he was a guy that I had to go interview with to get the job here back in 1982. And I'll tell you what a great man, and knew people well. He was one of those coaches you'd love because he knew people well. Elmer Chrysler and his son Carl is coaching the girls team right now, which is having a fabulous season as well. So we're ready to get this one underway now. Columbia going up against Lancaster Mennonite tonight. And all being brought to you here on Fox 43.2. And let's get this one underway and play some basketball. Tap is controlled by Lancaster Mennonite as Jordan Lilly will pick it up and put it in play.
Terry Hurst directing the attack.
Man-to-man by Columbia. You'll see Columbia overplay lanes. You're not going to get a lot of help side with them. They go mano-a-mano with you.
Nice defense by Columbia.
This is where they live. Columbia is one of those teams that can get hot in the 3 and they can be cold in the 3. But they try to create new possessions to get layups all night long.
Blazers come out in their man-to-man.
And a throwaway there by Aiden Miller trying to get it inside on the post-up.
Steal by Halverson.
And Dejon Giles is going to get whistled for his first foul of the evening.
Coach, I don't know a whole lot about Mennonite, but it looks like their post guy is getting the ball in good position. Dave Weaver, I'd like to see him pivot and look at the rim.
Yeah, he's averaging 11.5 points a game. At the line is Lilly, and Lilly, the bank's open.
See, in the YMCA, you got to call that before.
Yeah, exactly.
Before that's good.
Yeah, that's the way it used to be in practice. You had to call that out. Kerry Glover over the far side for Columbia. His brother coaches the girls team at York High. Second shot is up and no good, and 1-0 right now. Lancaster Mennonite leads. And there it is. Artie Poindexter out of the corner. His dad used to be a point guard here at Columbia years ago, and he buries a tray.
Nice looking shot.
And this is where Columbia live. After the make, you'll see them try to suffocate you immediately. Foul on Aiden Miller, his first, team second.
I really appreciate their aggressiveness. Columbia really, really gets after you.
That's become their style the last few years under Coach Glover, and he really has them work hard. Hey, this Lancaster Mennonite team with a lot of pedigree Going hard to the basket. It's going to be tipped out of bounds by Columbia. It'll stay with Lancaster Mennonite.
Nice inbounds. Nice baseline out of bounds play. Unfortunately, call was traveling.
So the ball belonged to Columbia here, and Mennonite coming after them as well with a press. The Blazers and the Tide. And I'll tell you what, Mennonite coming at it hard here too with a face guard.
Yes.
Usually you have to hit the side and then the middle on a face guard. Back in the hands of Poindexter. Aiden Miller.
Columbia running their half-court offense.
There's a kick to the corner. Miller with a three, and Miller in and out. A good foul up there by Jordan Poole with a stick back.
Jordan Poole, the second leading scorer for the Crimson Tide, averaging 13.4 points a game.
Jordan Poole's father, the second leading scorer in history here, only to Mike Whistler. A nice move inside by Weaver, and a good box out by Aiden Miller.
Nice move by Weaver. I'd like to see a little more of that.
There's Poole underneath to Dejon Giles, and a nice pass again by Jordan Poole, and Giles answered the bell with two.
Jordan Poole with a nice dime.
7 in a row here by Columbia after being down 1-0. Up, not going to go. Giles pulls down the rebound quickly. Columbia's going to get it out here. Poindexter with it. Poindexter pulls up underneath again.
Another nice dime.
To Breland Miller from Poindexter. You need a timeout. 9 straight points by Columbia. They need it 9-1. We'll take a break. We'll come right back. This is High School Sports Live TV on Fox 43.2. Welcome back. 9 unanswered points here by Columbia in the first quarter after a 1-0 lead by Lancaster Mennonite, and the Blazers call timeout. Coach Seth Buckwalter wants to regroup. I'll give you a little secret. This court is about 1.5 feet in closer on each side than any other court you'll play. So when you're pressing, it feels like you might have 7 or 8 guys out there, kind of like the old days of Harrisburg High.
Yes, absolutely.
If you're playing at Manny Weaver Gymnasium, that's what it feels like.
Yes, you got to use it for your advantage.
That's exactly right. And another turnover here. You got a crowd in here tonight, probably numbers around 500, but it feels like about 2,000.
Yes, it does. Good defense by the Crimson Tide.
So far in shooting, Lancaster Mennonite, nothing out of 3. Columbia, 4 out of 5, all pretty much on easy layups except for the 1-3.
Oh, nice play.
And again, underneath, very unselfish basketball. Breland Miller with his first bucket of the night. 11 in a row now by the Crimson Tide.
Crimson Tide in the half court is really creating some problems for the Blazers.
They'll switch on every screen. And finally, they get a little move along the baseline, and answering the call is Chase Hurst, the freshman.
The freshman averaging 6.9 points per game.
And here, Poole dribbling into a double team there. Turnover, and Chase Hurst with the basketball. His brother, Camden Hurst, averages 25 a game, but he's out with a broken hand.
Oh, nice back.
Great backdoor, and a nice pass by Hurst as he catches number 1, Lilly, for a deuce.
Feels like the Blazers are getting their feet underneath them.
Did a nice job coming out of that timeout and getting into some kind of good basketball play. Breland Miller kicks it back out. Jordan Poole with a move. Poole rather. Tough shot, but he makes it. Jordan Poole with a little off-balance shot, a floater, but knocked it down.
Jordan Poole's feeling really, really good about himself so far.
5 straight two-point shots, 5 straight makes for the Crimson Tide. Here's Weaver. Again, backdooring now. And they're realizing what we knew already. Columbia overplays, so you're going to have to backdoor against them. Poole outside. Poole misses everything. Giles hustles over. Did it go off Lancaster Mennonite? Ball will stay with Columbia underneath their own basket. So, Coach, whenever you see a team that's going to overplay you and get up tough on the ball, start the back door, and you can see right now Lancaster Mennonite making it pay off. Good coaching move.
Good coaching move. Excellent adjustment.
Again, coach has been patching in people all year long. Camden Hurst out with a broken hand. Luke Hurlbrink out for the season with a broken foot. Taylor has a hurt back. Salim with a hurt hip. Here's Aiden Miller. Aiden Miller picks it back out. Braylon Miller picks it up. Artie Poindexter looks it over. Giles with a shot, not going to go. Scramble for the ball underneath. There's Aiden Miller. That's what he does, gets on the floor. And a great hustle there by both the big men as Weaver and Miller get after the loose ball.
Good aggressiveness on both sides. It'll be Columbia ball.
Weaver stands at 6'7", and you saw the 6'2" Miller hustling down there, and it's like to see your big guys get on the floor and get after it.
That always looks good on tape.
Into the game now is Dominic Diaz-Ellis, who's a sophomore. He averages 9 a game off the bench. Diaz-Ellis right to the basket immediately, and Diaz-Ellis, who played as a freshman last year on this varsity team, can get it done.
I tell you, he knows his role on this team. He came right in, got the pass, went right to the rack.
Old motion offense here, just pass, screen away. Guards are always in motion, takes the heat off the center.
Nice double team on the post.
Diaz-Ellis underneath, Diaz-Ellis up, and good, and he's gonna get a chance for a three-point play as he is fouled on the play by Miles Halverson.
Diaz-Ellis, I love his role on this ball club. He plays real good defense, got the steal, got the and one.
Didn't Al McGuire say you're not supposed to shoot till you sweat? Diaz-Ellis did not apparently read that, but he got 2 great shots and went right to the basket on both of them.
His internet was messed up, Coach. He didn't get the memo.
Diaz-Ellis at the line here, first time at the line tonight. Columbia's not a good free throw shooting team. They average 55% from the line, and you see the miss right here as Ellis almost got his own rebound. Jumping out of there is Lancaster Mennonite. You do not want to get in the run and gun pace here. There's Poole, up and in. Poole with another tough shot. And here they come on the run on the other end as
Poole has been extremely aggressive on the offensive end. Nice pass out of the double team. Way to reverse it.
Nice job trying to get up. Good box out by Giles over the big guy. Another 3 look. That's not going to go.
That was a foul on 24 with the push.
And you get a foul call on Jaden Taylor. And Taylor picks up his first foul. It'll be the team's second now against Lancaster Mennonite. So 2 fouls either way so far. Kerry Glover has done a great job here with this Columbia team over his 7 years. 102 and 57 during that time. He's been voted the LL Hoops Coach of the Year 3 times already.
He does a really, really good job, Coach. He works year-round, works very, very hard. He has a very good relationship with the Spooky Nook guys.
He really does.
And his kids get a lot of work in the off-season.
He and his brother Kevin. Wow. Short. I'll tell you what. Columbia operating on every piston right now as Braylon Miller takes the basket. They attack you with the basketball. Another tip out of bounds off Lancaster Mennonite. Columbia up 21-5. Timeout. Lancaster Mennonite. Columbia on a roll. All here on the High School Sports Live TV Game of the Week on Fox 43.2.
Everybody knows Hoffman has it. Did you know Hoffman has even more? There's the fully stocked Hoffman Ford Parts and Accessories Department, the Hoffman state-of-the-art collision facility, confidence in our ultra-modern service facility, peace of mind with master technicians, satisfaction with low prices.
Do I really need to say it again? Hoffman has it.
Only at Hoffman Ford, Colonial Park.
Hoffman Ford, just what you're looking for. Hoffman has it.
Well, the numbers bear out what we're seeing so far, Coach Smallwood. Columbia is 9 for 9 from twos. They are 7-2 in rebounding leading, and they are only 2 turnovers so far to 6 for Lancaster Mennonite. Adds up to a 16-point lead here with 2:20 to go in the first quarter.
That's exactly like Coach Glover explained it in the pregame. This is what he wanted to see on the floor. He's getting exactly what he asked for.
They live off momentum. They really do. Ladarian Miller, the younger brother of Breline, into the game now. Again, their father played for Temple and also Clemson. Ladarian is not afraid to put it up like that. Just into the game. He has a tip ball. It's going to be in for Columbia underneath their own basket. 2 minutes to play here in the first quarter.
I'm not sure that that's the shot that Coach Glover wants, but it's always good to see a young kid come off the bench and be aggressive.
Artie Poindexter looks for the three, passes it up, pulls up at the line, has a tip again. This time I think it's going to be off again, Lancaster Mennonite. Looked like it might have been off Diaz Ellis, but official says no. So Ellis will trigger the inbounds play. Lancaster Mennonite with a 2-3. Jordan Poole back into the game, and Poindexter will take a seat.
Jordan Poole's off to a wonderful start.
Jordan Poole's father, Michael Poole, is the second leading scorer in Columbia history here in boys at 1,792 points.
He's a great man. I see him all the time in the summer, helping with his kids and helping with this Columbia program.
Played for me for 4 years and never missed a day of practice. Great guy. Knocked away. Nice job there by Summerall. Give credit to Summerall, but again, Columbia's making Lancaster Mennonite play faster than what they can right now.
Absolutely, Coach.
I know somebody next to me used to do that occasionally. Huh?
Well, that was in the cards. But one of the things that the Blazers got to do, they got to take a deep breath. They've got to play their style.
Here's that 2-3 zone right now. Columbia needs a high post here. They like to run a guy on the baseline, but you almost need three near outlets, in the high post, even if it's a guard, is going to help you here. Now take a look. They'll float guys through all the time. They run motion against it. But what they end up doing here is becoming a three-point shooting team. And you can see here, without that high post, they run into some problems against zone.
Absolutely. One of the things I've been noticing, Coach, this season, I've been seeing too many one-hand passes.
Yeah.
You can never bring it back. If you have one hand on the ball and you move it forward, you can't bring it back. If you got two on it, you can pump fake it. You can always bring it back.
I'll tell you what, Columbia makes you play 5 one-on-one matches out there against you.
Yes. They're trying to make the Blazers beat the guy in front of them.
And again, look how quick he
Another
stepped on the line.
turnover.
And there's that sideline we were talking about. People aren't used to that being as close as it is here.
You got to use it to your advantage.
And that's what Columbia does. They keep you on the move all the time. 47.2 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Columbia leads at 21-5.
Still in that 2-3.
Yep, and you take a look at that high post area that looks to be open here, Coach.
It's wide open.
See, they'll go to the three now, and they don't shoot the three that well, except Giles did that time. And they say, what are you talking about, Coach? We can knock that three down, their second tray of the night.
And that's his 8th three of the year.
24-5, Columbia rolling here at the moment. Solanco had a tough game with Unionville last night down in the Philly area where they lost. I like this kid, Chase Hurst. A nice tap in there by Weaver to put it back up. Weaver gets his first two
nice
of the night.
Pass.
Kicking it out, another three look, and that's short.
Leaked out.
And he doesn't get there before the end of the quarter. It's 24-7. Columbia leads it after one quarter, and it's time now for a timeout with Thompson. Coach Jeff Thompson. And we're going to head to him right now, and he's always got a lot of good things for us. Let's take it back to Jeff.
We've heard a lot about Gary Sutton's 1987 championship team and the community of Columbia. But I'd like to talk a little bit about the principal who hired Gary, Elmer Kreiser. Some consider him the best coach ever in Lancaster County, and the gym is named after him. Well, when he was in high school, he was named the outstanding football player in the county. He also captained the basketball team. The big game against Steel High, he scored 18 points in the semifinal districts. After serving in the Army, Kreiser starred in football and basketball at Bloomsburg. A tight end in football, he was not only drafted by the Pittsburgh Steelers, he played professional basketball for Berwick in the Eastern League. He was named head coach in 1952, and he relied on the same things that we're seeing on the court tonight. Tough defense, rebounding, and conditioning. In 1958, his Columbia team lost to a Wampum team in the state finals that starred the Allen brothers, Harold and future Philadelphia Phillies slugger Dick Allen.
What's amazing about Elmer Kreiser is we won our state championship 29 years to the day that they played against Richie Allen and his brother Hank in that Wampum game. They got down 17 in the first half. They lost the game by 17, but it was 29 years to the day. And I'll tell you, Mr. Kreiser, one of my idols of all time. So Elmer Chrysler Gymnasium is where you're at tonight. And you want to know how big basketball was in Columbia? This is where his funeral was.
Oh, wow. That's impressive.
So back now with Lancaster Mennonite trying to figure out a way to stop this run. Good shot by the big guy there, a little half hook. And then you're going to get a foul called, I think. No, not all.
Steal.
And there's a big look, but again, they're rushing in terms of the shots they're taking right now. Big guy shoots it again. Columbia not rebounded too well here. Good offensive rebounding by Lancaster Mennonite, but the ball goes back over to the Tide.
Lancaster Mennonite are getting some pretty good looks.
They are. And Columbia not doing necessarily a great job here in the last few moments of boxing out.
You're right.
When you're as small as they are, and they're not real big, they're pretty much the same size, which is why they switch with every screen. There's that high post we were talking about.
Yes.
Get that high post and use that to swing the zone to the other side.
It's like a little overload there.
There it is. So important not to dribble into trouble there. Columbia just kind of feeling out. Using a little patience here in the half-court game.
That baseline's wide open.
There it is, and that's what they're trying to find a backside. Back out it comes. Artie Poindexter. Dump off again to Poole. Poole up and in. Another acrobatic shot by Poole. He's got 8 here in the first half.
Poole really brought it today. He really brought it. From talking to the Columbia kids, this is one of the games they really look forward to.
Well, this is a huge game in their section. Of course, you have a team here that's won some district championships over the years, so they know what they're going to do. Columbia was in Section 5 last year, but Section 5 is eliminated in the Lancaster 11 League, so now it's Section 4. And the king of Section 4 has been Lancaster Mennonite and Lancaster Catholic. Up and under. Nice slithering move there that time by Assad Salim, just into the game, his first deuce of the night.
Coach Jordan Poole had an opportunity to step in and take that charge. I'm sure that's something that Coach is going to bring up at halftime.
Terry Glover loves to see his players take those charges. You're exactly right.
The floater on the baseline has been open
underneath
the last 3 times.
And they just finally found Giles down there on the baseline. Giles with 9 points in the game.
Good catch, good finish.
Boy, Columbia attacked the zone smartly that time. Here they come. They're throwing it ahead. There's Poole. Poole's going to get fouled and gets a shot off. I think he's going to get 2 shots here.
What a pass.
He reached down and just put the English on that pass beautifully.
Artie Poindexter seeing the floor, getting the ball into the right hands.
The foul is on Salim, and that's going to be his first foul. Team third now against Lancaster Mennonite as Poole goes to the line. You can see a little bit of a spin there off the right hand. One of the reasons maybe they're not as good shooting the free throws as you might want. Back in the game for Columbia, Aiden Miller. And Giles will take a seat. Giles leading with 9 points here. Don't forget our Jack Giambalvo halftime report coming up. Second shot up by Poole and good. Poole's got 9 points as well. And Breland Miller back in, and Poole will sit down. So the swinging door is going over there for Columbia right now and playing the players.
Yes, he's putting them in. He is definitely, I think he's gone 9 deep already, which is a testament to the program.
Trying to work that inside post. Kick it back out. Long 3 look, not going to go again. Picked off there by Artie Poindexter. Ahead it goes to Breland Miller. Miller underneath again. They've been finding that pass all night. And that was Ladarian Miller throwing to Breland Miller.
Columbia is very astute at getting that ball off the rim and pushing it down the floor, looking for early opportunities.
This is a team that's as good as the whole.
Yes.
You're not going to see one star here, but you'll see a combination of 5 guys that are really unselfish. Lancaster Mennonite staying in that 2-3 now, and again, you're missing the high post here, which you need to get back. And there goes Breland Miller back in the high post. Now so you have a guard in there that can drive and shoot.
He's open. There you go.
There he is. Little shot. Perfect play. There's that high post again, and Breland Miller with his 6th point here in the first half. 31-9, the Tide leads it. And there's no slow up of pressure.
I don't know if it's part of their defensive scheme or not, Coach, but when the ball goes in the corner, there's usually 2 guys on it hawking it.
They'll trap you a lot. Any pass goes inside the trap you, which makes you really think about it. Again, speeds you up offensively. And for Mennonite, they got to find a way to get into some kind of rhythm here. Another tough shot, another double team. Columbia off and running. Here's Diaz Ellis. There's Ellis again on the wing. Need that high post again. There comes Breelon Miller in there. Out comes Diaz Ellis. He looks at Miller. Miller from the side, underneath. And Miller just missing that shot, keeps it alive. The hands are so quick, Coach.
Yes, very, very quick. Columbia's making all the right reads offensively.
Ladarian Miller
Great kick
outside
out.
and hits off the top. Good kick, though, and Miller had plenty of time to shoot that in the seam of that zone. Might be only the second three they've missed here so far this evening. Jeff Thompson doing double duty here for us tonight, not only with timeout with Thompson, but also keeping the stats for us tonight. They're 3 out of 7 so far as Columbia from the three-point strike.
Whoa.
Again, you saw Miller taking a charge there, didn't get called, but right in front of the coach there. Coaches like that, take the charge right in front,
yeah,
right?
absolutely. Looks like a little football going on in there. 1st and 10.
Well, here you see it. Watch Miller come over right here. And Chase Hurst put that elbow down. It's not going to be called anything, though, right now. Here's Columbia with the basketball. 4 minutes to go here in the first half. 31-9.
I really like the ball in Artie Poindexter's hands. He does a really good job of getting the ball to the right people.
They're going back to man. It doesn't matter. Giles is hot tonight. Giles now with 12 points here in the first half. Referee stopping play back here. I'm not sure there's not a little bit of bumping around and a good piece of proactive officiating here.
Giles on the season has 19 three-pointers.
And he's got 2 of them here tonight.
Yes.
Giles was a quarterback of the football team this year for Columbia.
Nice-looking athlete.
34-9 here, 3:42 to go in the first half. And the pressure is there from everybody. Up, not going to go, battle around again. Columbia battling for it, it's tipped back in. The big guy, Weaver, stayed alive on that. He gets his 4th point of the evening.
Weaver did a great job sticking with it.
And you can't go to sleep after you score because Columbia is going to be off and running on the other end, and that's exactly what Ladarian Miller did as he gets his first deuce of the night and goes to the line with a chance to make it 3.
Nice-looking move there. Went right at the big guy, right at his chest, and laid it up. Now he's on the free throw line.
The foul on Weaver, his first foul of the evening. Be a team 4th down. And at the line, Ladarian Miller, only a sophomore. He's the younger of the 2 Miller brothers. So Ladarian at the line. Up and good. And so Ladarian Miller with his 3 points here in the first half. Columbia up by 26 points with 3:25 to go here in the half. Diaz Ellis back down.
Columbia picking up
back
man
in
to man.
Jordan Poole.
Looks like Mennonite's trying to spread them out a little bit for some dribble drives.
He's trying to get the ball to the baseline, but again, kick it back out for a 3, and it's good swing out there by Xavier Sumrall, and Xavier Sumrall with his first 3 of the game.
Senior guard averages double digits, 12.6 per game. Got a mismatch on the box.
Breelon Miller misses it, and the quick hands again of Giles. Giles back up, and he's fouled on the play.
Giles has been very, very active. Coach, I don't know if he's playing forward, small forward, center. He's all over the place.
Well, Columbia, I think you're just a player. I think that's how it's designed. Miles Halverson picks up his 2nd foul now here in the first half. Team 5th at the line here is Dejon Giles, and Giles, perfect. Columbia shooting above their average so far here tonight. They're 3 out of 4 for the free throw line.
One of the things that's key for Columbia is getting to the free throw line. That helps.
Exactly.
It helps their attack. It helps them set their defensive posture also.
Like right here where they can really set into their defense. Giles averages 8 points a game. He's got 14 in this one so far. Another 3. This one's not going to go. Yanked down though, and a foul's going to be called, I think, on Giles. That'll be his 2nd foul, so you may see him clear out right now and might see Aiden Miller back in very quickly.
Jaden Taylor on that rebound. 6-foot junior.
And the foul is not on Giles. The foul instead is called on Ladarian Miller. To the corner, three-point look, three-point miss. No box out there. And again, offensive boards so far have belonged here to Lancaster Mennonite. Here goes Columbia. And a timeout by Carey. Glover over on the far side will take one as well. 2:29 to go to the half. 39-14. The Crimson Tide lead it. This is the High School Sports Live TV Game of the Week on Fox 43.2.
More choices. More laughter. More time to play. And less need to worry. At Capital Blue Cross, we're driven by a simple goal: to go the extra mile for you through all of life's ups and downs, and to always be there when you need us. Capital Blue Cross, going the extra mile for you.
Hey, Advanced Hoops is offering a special middle school boys winter league. It's not too late to sign up. To find out more, go to www.advancedhoops.com. And don't forget, you can watch replays of this game on hsslivetv.com. Check it out for a full schedule and all our games we've done during the course of the season. Gary Sutton, Kirk Smallwood, Jeff Thompson with you all here tonight. 10-3 in turnovers so far. Columbia with 3, Lancaster Mennonite with 10.
Artie Poindexter.
Poindexter, a strong move, just coming up a little short that time. When you play man-to-man, Columbia's going to attack you with the basketball.
They're definitely going to put their head down and try to get to the rack.
And I like what Lancaster Mennonite do, a little Euro step there. Giles with a rebound, 2:05 to go. Poole on the other end, pull up, pull in. Great pass again, down court from Giles.
Once Poole saw that the rebound was being secured, he got out on the wing. Great pass, great finish.
11 points here in the first half now for Poole. He's been hot. There's that tip again. Good pass underneath. Nice score inside by Assad Salim. Assad Salim with 4 points. 41-16, the Tide lead it. Poindexter coming up. Tough shot there for Poindexter, kept alive by Breland Miller. Breland Miller underneath to Poindexter again. Poindexter back up and puts it away. Breland Miller with a pass.
What a strong kid.
5 points now for Poindexter, and here comes Lancaster Mennonite the other end, and a nice move.
Summerall.
I'll tell you what, Summerall with a nice move. Xavier Summerall with 5 points in the game. Here comes Miller back on the other end, and Artie Poindexter is going to kick it to the corner. And he stepped on the line going along the baseline, so the ball goes back over to the Blazers, and a chance to get a little bit of a run going right now.
Yes.
You say 43-18 game over. I don't think Seth Buckwalter's looking at it that way.
David Weaver re-enters the game.
So Weaver back in now. Weaver carrying one foul. Columbia goes into one. They're staying with the man-to-man. Looked like a 1-3-1 for a moment. Weaver back out. Hit that three, and you got something going on here.
Summerall.
Good foul, and no box out. And Summerall all of a sudden has a little run going himself. He's got 7 points in the game. And Columbia throwing a couple tough shots up the last few times down.
Yes.
40 seconds to play, coming back to the other end. Almost offensive pass interference. Stepping on the baseline instead, it's going to be Columbia's basketball.
Again, looks like Mennonite's trying to play fast in transition. I'm not sure that that's what they practice.
The last two shots down by Columbia have both been kind of throw-up shots instead of strong finishes.
Yes.
Which we saw throughout the early part of the game.
Let's see if they can get a good possession here.
30 seconds.
Get the last shot.
Give and go. Poindexter going down. That'll be the 16th foul against Lancaster Mennonite, so they'll bring it underneath their own basket. And the foul is on Chase Hurst. And for Hurst, that's his first foul of the evening. 16 foul. 25.8 seconds to go here in the half. Ball goes outside to Miller.
I really like Miller's game. He takes what they give him. He doesn't really rush anything.
Poindexter kicks it out. There's Miller. He's got a three open. And this time not going to get it. But right back up is Diaz Ellis. And it's going to be out of bounds off Columbia and goes back over to Lancaster Mennonite. Again, kind of not the shot you necessarily wanted there by Columbia.
No. And the other thing, I'd like to see Miller, kind of bend his knees a little bit, step to the ball.
There's a three by Hurst, not going to go underneath. Picked off by Dejon Giles, and that's the half. 43-20 here in the first half. Columbia in control so far. We're going to come back for our Jack Giambavo halftime report right after this. This is the High School Sports Live TV Game of the Week on Fox 43.2.
I'm with Dr. Callista Morris from OSS Health. She's an orthopedic sports medicine surgeon. Today we're going to talk about shoulder injuries. What sport really kind of wins this, if you will, the injury battle?
Yeah, absolutely, hands down, as some people may guess, football wins that battle, but very close by are wrestling and baseball. Okay. When it comes to baseball, pitching is absolutely the number one, more so than field players or catching. So pitchers are the biggest risk. Football is kind of a conglomerate. Yes, we see them in the quarterbacks, but those are more contact positions. Right. So wide receivers, running backs, they get hit a little bit harder. I'm
mentoring a young man. He's in my car the other day, and my shoulder hurts. I said, hey, what's going on, buddy? He said, I landed on my shoulder in practice. Do you tell them to go right back out there, or should they come in and get an x-ray, maybe like OSS Health, or should they, how do they know whether to be careful or just to keep going at it?
If obviously there's deformity or anything like that to the shoulder just doesn't look right, come in right away, we'll get an x-ray. But if it just seems like a mild ache, give it a day or two, take some ibuprofen, Tylenol if you can tolerate it, and then if it's still not better within 72 hours, then definitely come in and get it checked out.
Talk about preventative measures for shoulder injuries.
Absolutely. So the number one thing for us is actually the shoulder blade. So if we can really strengthen the back and the shoulder blade, that helps the shoulder move better as a unit, puts you at less risk of injury. And then also stretching. So you want the motion on your dominant side to equal the motion of your non-dominant side.
Cincinnati Reds, Bucknell wrestling team. I mean, you've been around a lot of different sports. It's got to be a dream come true. A little girl or a little guy, high school kid, junior high comes in. You can talk to them about sports. You can relate to them. You've been there. Does that give you an advantage making that connection?
Absolutely. So at being a former athlete and being around as high level as Major League Baseball, we understand the importance of getting back to their sport and their passion and what they want to do and doing it safely, but also timing for that. So gotcha. We kind of base, are you going into senior season? Are you trying to make this tournament or that tournament? How can we work your injury to get you back to your goals?
What would be like a return to play checklist on how you could judge whether or not that shoulder is ready to go?
Yeah. So if it's any type of shoulder injury that requires rehab, it's at least 6 weeks to rehab. So you're out for 6 weeks if you're not taking care of yourself. If it gets to a surgical aspect, now we're looking at 6 months. So it's a pretty big deal if we have to go in for surgery. So if you can take a break and let it rest, that's great. It may save you months on a recovery turn, but we go on a stepwise progression. We work on motion first, then we work on strength, and then we get back into sport-specific activities.
If you want more information, go to osshealth.com.
Where were you last night? Do you know how embarrassing that was for me? No. Don't deflect. Well, that wasn't passive aggressive. Listen, I just need to know that I can trust you're going to be there when I need you. Hello? Our money just hung up on me.
Not cool.
Track your spending with our personal finance tool. Just another way to have better conversations with your money. From F&M Trust.
Groff Tractor is your full-line equipment dealer representing Case Construction and many other leading brands, serving the total sales, rentals, parts, and service needs of its customer. Students, begin your professional journey in a high-demand field with Groff Tractor. Contact us today to discover the power of our technician internship programs. Groff Tractor also offers scheduled maintenance along with 24/7 emergency service. Groff Tractor is your number one source for everything under construction.
All across Pennsylvania, families are living their lives in their own homes. Not long ago, none of these families believed it possible. And then they discovered there was someone who could help. What was once only a dream is now a reality. Welcome home.
We wake up with the sun. We live in a place we're proud to call home. For us, it's knowing that those we help are neighbors, friends, family. As the leader in providing the best orthopedic care for our community, we come together to do our part.
And welcome back to our Jack Giambalvo halftime report. And it is 43-20 here at the half. Lancaster Mennonite with a little bit of a comeback there at the end of the quarter, but there's still a lot of ground to make up. But I like some of the things that they were doing, Coach Smallwood, as they try to fight their way back into this game, trying to play Columbia's defense to their advantage.
Yes. Once they got their feet under them, I thought they got some better shots that went in. They weren't speeding up the way they were earlier in the game. You know, they were playing at their pace, and that helped them a lot.
Jeff Thompson, Columbia operating on all cylinders right now, and everybody's in the act so far.
Well, all I read about Elmer Kreiser, pressure defense, transition, rebounding, and finishing the play. They do it all. It hasn't changed in 70 years.
Well, he's looking down tonight, I'm pretty sure, and is happy with the way they're playing. But you take a look at Columbia at the end of the half. If they have a fault, they sometimes come down and start to throw up some weak shots instead of finding that open guy, which they were doing at will in the first half.
Absolutely. I'd like to see them be a little bit more efficient from the free throw line also. They're getting there. Got to knock them down. Let's
take a look at the AT&T and OSS Health first half highlights right now, and there were a whole lot of them here in this gymnasium tonight. And here they are. And right out of the gate, you can see Columbia attacking the basket and then kicking it out, and you get a three-point shot from Artie Poindexter. And there's a weak side cut off the screen, kicking it back to the corner, and Breland Miller misses it, but the follow-up again by Jordan Poole. Had a great first half with 11 points. And then underneath the pass to Giles. We saw a lot of that in the first half. Giles with 14 points in the first half. He only averages 8 for the game.
Columbia can run.
Take a look here. Poindexter again, driving, underneath again. And who puts it in? Breland Miller.
Excellent pass.
Artie Poindexter brings it down. Now they're attacking a little bit of a man-to-man inside off a nice little back door. And you got Breland Miller again, the recipient.
I really like his strength with the ball.
Here's a guy I like a lot, though. The young guard,
Chase Hurts.
He got it done there, didn't he?
He sure did. He's deceptively quick.
Nice pass.
We saw some of those back doors starting there, and coming in nicely for that was Jordan Lilly. And so your halftime stats right now, brought to you by Capital Blue Cross, and take a look at those numbers. What jumps out at you guys?
Well, first of all, 63% from 2 by Columbia.
Biggest number is the turnover department. Look at that, 11 for Lancaster Mennonite, 4 for Columbia thus far. 7 possession turnover difference, that's a lot.
And despite the size difference, Columbia's out-rebounding Lancaster Mennonite right now, 18-16.
Well, they're very aggressive on the boards, I think, with their quick hands.
They have to be, because they really aren't that big. I mean, the tallest guy out there is like 6'2", but they attack you like sharks to a feeding frenzy when it gets on the glass. And then, of course, when they get it, they're off and running every single time. We'll take a break. We'll come right back and start the third quarter for you. That's your Jack Giambalvo halftime report right here on High School Sports Live TV on Fox 43.2.
Today's Advanced Hoops tip will feature Duke McCamey, our post-training expert.
The miking drill is a foundational drill that I teach all young players that sign up for my class. This drill teaches players to finish around the basket while using proper footwork. It's important for players to use the right hand on the right side and the left hand on the left side. I teach players to shuffle their feet and get low while exploding into the layup. Squaring feet and squaring shoulder is the key to consistency and timing around the basket. The miking drill is a foundational drill for every young player to learn in my class.
More choices, more laughter, more time to play, and less need to worry. At Capital Blue Cross, we're driven by a simple goal: to go the extra mile for you through all of life's ups and downs, and to always be there when you need us. Capital Blue Cross, going the extra mile for you.
You may recycle your electronics, appliances, and mercury thermostats at the Dauphin County Recycling Center.
In addition to 8 local drop-off sites for recyclable materials.
Recycling matters in Dauphin County.
Since 2001, Dauphin County has recycled over 10,000 tons of electronics.
And 1.6 million tons of recyclables like cardboard and plastics.
Keep up the great work.
Bring it on!
Columbia with the basketball to start the third quarter here. 43-20. Tide leads it over Lancaster Mennonite, the Blazers. Both teams 3-0 in Section 4. Gary Sutton, Kurt Smallwood, Jeff Thompson with you here tonight in the home of the Tide. And there again, standing on the sideline. And you see a lot of that because these sidelines, as I said, are about 1.5 feet in on either side. The court is very homey.
It used to happen to me a lot at the Y, too, Coach.
There you go. Now, when you're sitting over there coaching, you can't put your feet out too far because they're inbounds. Lancaster Mennonite trying to figure out a way to kind of get into the Tide here a little bit. Nice pull-up jumper, not going to go. Pulled down by Poole, who's been everywhere tonight. Throws it off to Aiden Miller. Aiden Miller ahead to Breland Miller. Breland Miller attacks the basket and up and in. Breland Miller, and that's how quickly they'll get back on you right away.
2 dribbles right to the rack. Right at the big guy's chest.
Breland Miller with 8 points in the game now. Inside it goes to the big guy, Weaver. Weaver gets double teamed right away, and Weaver trying to get a move up, can't do it. And out of bounds, I think it's going to be off Mennonite, and it is, and it goes back over to the Columbia Crimson Tide.
To Weaver's credit, one of the things he did very, very well in the first half was pass out of the double team.
Right.
He usually feels it coming.
Oh, and down goes Artie Poindexter, apparently a wet spot. You're going to get a timeout here as putting it in on the other end is Sumrall, and we hope Poindexter's okay. He looks like he slipped. And he's coming off bad ankle. We hope it's just a momentary thing. Looks like he just turned it over coming down. It must have been a wet spot there on the floor.
Well, they're playing so hard. Things like that happen sometimes.
Absolutely.
Now with him out, they'll get the ball in the hands more of Breland Miller now, I would think.
Mennonite is extending their defense.
Columbia has 3 or 4 guys that actually play point guard for him from time to time, but Poindexter is really the guy that kind of glues them all together.
Looks like they're doing it by committee.
Here you go. Giles finds Breland Miller going through, and Miller gets fouled on the play. So quick, slithering his way through there, and the foul will get marked up on Xavier Sumrall, his first. Team first of the second half. So at the line, Breland Miller.
Really impressed with his demeanor. You know, he doesn't change expressions. He doesn't get too happy when things are well. Doesn't get down when things aren't going well.
He's got 10 points in the game. Misses the free throw here. And by the way, we had a correction on Giles. He had 12 in the first half, and Breland Miller actually had 8. He now has 10 points. Looking for number 11 here on this trip. And there's that haunting thing for Columbia, 55% free throw shooting team, and start the second half 0 for 2 from the line.
It's one of the things that we've been witnessing, you know, with our broadcast. We haven't seen really, really good free throw shooting with the high school students.
You look at the motion right now, and you've got Lancaster Mennonite is starting to get into a nice little motion and then attacking with the basketball at the right moment.
It seems like they're getting their feet under him. They're getting comfortable. They're getting the ball to the right spots. I would like to see that big guy touch it a little bit more, and they can play through him.
When you touch those big posts inside, it makes the defense have to respect you. When you get the double team, someone else is open. As again, the shot missed here at a time you really need to score some points when you're standing still at the line. I'm sorry, it did go down. Forgive me.
That was the longest free throw shot ever.
That one missed. Out to Poole. Poole's going to attack right here. Pulls it back out. Like to hear those squeakers, or those sneakers squeak, don't you, Coach?
Yes, yes,
Someone's working out there. Breland Miller throws it away. Picked off there by Sumrall, and here again, Lancaster Mennonite. You feel a little bit of momentum for Lancaster Mennonite right now.
Yes, they just need a big three, a nice and one, something that can kickstart their offensive attack.
There's Dejon Miller. Miller gets fouled, going hard to the basket. He's looking over there at Diaz Ellis, and Diaz Ellis never really got open. They were too tight together, so Giles gets fouled. And the foul marked up against Jordan Lilly, his first of the game. Team second of the second half.
That's one of the things that Columbia can work on, getting that spacing in transition. Got to be able to see the guy peripherally.
And you want to make sure that defender has to commit to somebody, and that's what happens when you space it out. And again, another miss here for Columbia, 0 for 3 to start this half. So Columbia kind of carrying Lancaster Mennonite here for the moment.
Giles is coming into the game with 7 for 17 from the free throw line. It's not very good.
Second shot up, that one's good. Giles 1 for 2 tonight, 13 in the game. Columbia 46-23, doubling right now in Mennonite. Here they are back in a 1-3-1, which they like to play a lot. And again, they swarm on this, and you'll see what happens. If you're Mennonite, the baseline's going to be open. You're going to get some shots like that.
Way to attack it. Good job.
Wonderful job getting down to the weak spot on that. And Halverson gets his first deuce of the night.
Good patience by Lancaster Mennonite. Got the ball right where they needed to and finished.
Columbia with a lot of weak side motion right now. Showing some good patience here, but spreading the floor out. They love to get you spaced. Back out to Poole. He'll reset it. Ellis pulls back out. See a lot of people slip it out there.
Yes.
Jordan Poole with a move to the basket, kicks it back to Aiden Miller. Aiden Miller from downtown. And the big guy for Columbia gets his first points of the night, a 3.
Aiden Miller with his second 3 of the season.
How's that? Couldn't come at a better time for your Columbia fan, right? Columbia
Good
back
shot.
in their man-to-man this time down, out of the 1-3-1. And a long look will not go. It's out of bounds as Weaver thought he had an open one. And I'll tell you what, you look over there at Coach Seth, and he was not terribly impressed by that shot.
One of the things Mennonite got to do a better job of, they're going east and west as opposed to going north and south like Columbia's guys are doing.
Ellis gets called for the player control foul, his first of the evening, second in the second half against the team. The ball will come to the side here.
Mennonite shooters come back in, number 5.
Turnovers in this quarter. Columbia with 4 right now. Lancaster Mennonite with 2.
Summerall and Jordan Lilly is also back in the game. That's 2 of their perimeter shooters.
Look at the spacing right now by Lancaster Mennonite. A much better way to be able to drive to the basket and also get some back doors. And what a nice look there. A 3 downtown as it's buried by Jordan Lilly. His first 3 of the night.
Sophomore guard. Oh, what a move.
Oh, great move. And 3 on Miller once again. And Miller shows you the pedigree he's got.
Oh, boy. That's one of the things defensively, Coach. When those guys swing it through, your feet got to move too.
Another 3 look from the corner. And what a hustle job right there by Jordan Lilly. Lilly gets it back outside. This Lilly kid is playing hard.
He is really putting some life into this Mennonite attack.
Back out to Summerall and then drive to the baseline. Oh, and a hard drive it was by Chase Hurst. He's going to go to the line for 2. Giles blocked it. Looks like Giles might have been clean until he came through with his arm.
Yes, definitely hit him on that play.
For Giles, that's foul number 2. I think that Aiden Miller rather is going to get the foul call. Aiden Miller has 2 fouls now. And again, the free throw woes for both these teams continue.
If you want to get back in the game, you have to take advantage from the free throw stripe. Those opportunities, when you get them, you have to convert.
Darian Miller back in for Aiden Miller now. So here's Chase Hurst. Nice stroke there from the young player. He's got 4 points in the game. Columbia leads at 51-29.
Columbia.
This is LaDarian Miller, the sophomore.
Mennonite goes back into their half-court defense.
3 minutes to go here in the third quarter.
Columbia taking their time.
Giles hard to the basket, dumps underneath to Miller again. He had the layup, and look at Giles. He's everywhere. Underneath to Poole. What a pass for LaDarian Miller to Poole. That might be the play of the night right there. What a pass. And they're stolen away just for a second. Quick hands. And jump ball goes to Columbia. I'll tell you what, you don't have much time here. If you're standing with the basketball, you're going to make a lot of friends with this Columbia team.
Absolutely. They'll come entertain you.
What a pass there by Ladarian Miller, the sophomore, as he found Poole slicing in from the other side. Poole with 13 in the game now. Ladarian Miller getting the pressure out front. Good pressure it is, too. I'll tell you what, no quit at all in this Lancaster Mennonite team. They are up in your face right now defensively.
Not at all. They are really getting after it on defense.
2:24 to go in the third quarter, 53-29. The Tide leads at Poindexter back into the game now. If you're a Columbia fan, you're glad to see that.
And Poindexter's running the attack. He gets the ball to the right people.
Baseline to Poole. Poole, tough shot there. He gets bounced a little bit. And here they come on the other end. Ladarian Miller back. Chase Hurst kicks it across the other side.
Hurst is in there to shoot it. I thought that was a catch-and-shoot opportunity.
Jordan Lilly coming to play here. He's cutting. Not open that time. Loved his move without the basketball, though. Here's Chase Hurst. Beneath it goes. Weaver can't handle it. And picked up by Columbia, and they're off and running. Ahead it goes to Breland Miller. What a pass again to Poole!
I tell you, these Columbia guys, they really look for one another close to the basket.
Poindexter triggered that one off to Miller to Poole. Sounds like a law firm. And I think it's going to be Lancaster Mennonite's ball out of bounds. A lot of slippage out there tonight. There must be a little bit of water there on the court.
Maybe a little condensation.
And a little foul as well here, as the foul is on Jordan Poole. That'll be his second. And Columbia will interchange the parts constantly as Poole comes out.
Poole's playing a fantastic game today.
He really is. There's Chase Hurst, a little circle move. Weaver hands it to the corner. And again, what do we got? Stepping on the sideline.
On the sideline.
About the fourth one we've seen so far tonight.
Yeah.
This gym is a little narrower than most gyms, and it's hard to get used to. It's one of those old bandbox type auditoriums you come into, and if you're used to a certain type of step to the side, it's not there.
Yeah, kind of reminds you of Hoosiers.
It does. Breland Miller. Hard, dumps it off. Back out it comes. Oh, and tough pass
Turnover.
There. Oh, nice move.
Nice Euro.
Nice sliding move right through there, and a good up by Miles Halverson, a guy who's fighting through some injuries himself tonight. Playing with a lot of courage here this evening.
Halverson, the 6'2 junior guard.
Bennett O'Rell into the game now. Look at this move. How hard is that? Breland Miller is just having his way one-on-one to the basket. 6 points in this half, 14 in the game, and something on the floor right now.
Yeah.
How quick is Breland Miller with the first step?
Oh, and I tell you, he has no problem attacking the big guy, going right at his chest and finishing very calmly at the rim.
And he's got that short extension in for the quick layup, too, which your kids were always so good at Harrisburg. Ladarian Miller guarding Chase. Flat shot there, and fouled up, though. No box out. And there you have Chase Hurst sliding on through, and Chase Hurst with 6 points in the game.
Nice play by the freshman.
20 seconds to go, 24-point lead. Up and in, there it is again, missing the layup that time.
Nice pass, Miller. Nice
Ladarian
pass.
Miller through. Good block by Giles. Giles been everywhere tonight. Here comes Bennett O'Rell, and Bennett O'Rell. Tough pass to Ladarian Miller is going to be fouled, and the foul will be called on Xavier Sumrall, his second foul.
Coach, again, one of these things I'd like to see these guys do better, not only these two teams, but just high school kids. Pass the ball with two hands.
Yes.
You know.
Good sharp pass. Good pull up on the baseline, rattles out. Again, Miller with his hands on it, can't bring it down, but that's the end of the quarter. 57-33, Columbia leads it. We head to the fourth quarter, but not until we have a timeout with Jeff Thompson. Let's go over to Coach Thompson right now, because he's always got something interesting for us here. Timeout with Jeff.
Lancaster Mennonite also has a pretty proud tradition in boys basketball. In 1997, Coach Jeff Groff coached the Blazers to a District 3A title. Current head coach Seth Buckwalter, then described as a 6'6" reed-thin rebounder with a sharpshooter's touch, led the Blazers that year. In the championship game versus then in districts versus 3A state-ranked Susquehanna Township, he had 24 points and 17 rebounds. Like Elmer Kreiser before him, Seth Buckwalter went on to play basketball at Bloomsburg. Seth's mentor, Coach Jeff Groff, coached at Lancaster Mennonite for 25 years. He ushered me out of coaching by trouncing a team I coached in a district quarterfinal game in 2010. Coach Groff handed the reins over to the one-time protege and JV coach Seth Buckwalter 5 years ago. Under Coach Buckwalter, the Blazers have won the districts the last 2 years. And it seems Seth remains the same humble, unruffled individual he seems to have always been, and a great role model for his players.
Well, there you have it. Timeout with Jeff Thompson. We get ready to go to the fourth quarter. 57-33 the Tide, leading right now by 24 points, but it's never over till it's over, is it, Coach?
No, these Mennonite young men don't have any fight in them. They're going to keep grinding it out, and hopefully they can get back in this and make it a game.
You can tell they're a well-coached team. They just ran into a buzzsaw here tonight. Poindexter is going to get called probably for a travel here, I think. Nope, they're going to call a foul on the floor. You like Artie Poindexter, don't you?
I really like him, Coach. He just got a nice feel for the game. He's a pass-first type guy, and he doesn't mind, you know, squatting and playing really, really good defense in man-to-man.
Jason Torres into the game, has a foul, and there it is. The other Miller answering the bell downtown, LaDarian Miller. He's got 6 points in the game now with that three.
Sophomore.
Up, not going to go. Tapped around, it's going to be out of bounds off Columbia. We'll stay with the Blazers.
And, Coach, right now, size-wise, they're pretty even without the big guy in the game. Might be a good time for Columbia to press them a little bit.
Trying to get the ball in bounds, which is always an adventure here at Columbia. So it's tipped out of bounds by the Tide. You know, you watch Kerry Glover, pretty calm guy over there. He kind of keeps things. So is Seth Buckwalter. Both very calm coaches, both outstanding coaches with great programs.
Yes, they both do a really, really good job with their kids.
Can't wait to see what happens with Mennonite to get their players back. I mean, they got 25 points out of their lineup tonight. When you look and see Camden Hurst missing, an all-stater last year.
That would make a huge difference in this ball game.
And there's a little running shot. It's going to be a foul on the play against Columbia. Might be against Orel. We'll see. And the foul will be called against Artie Poindexter. Poindexter picking up his first foul of the evening.
Sophomore guard Assad Salim at the line.
So Salim in and out again. So a chance to make some points up here, but not happening so far from the free throw line. Got them so far tonight at 3 out of 7 for the line for their team. Salam with the second shot, that's up, and that's not good either, and rebounded by Aiden Johnson. So again, 2 missed opportunities there.
Poindexter. Oh.
Look at the drive. LaDarian Miller, the brother of Braylon Miller. LaDarian Miller shows you he's got some hops too. He's got all of a sudden 8 points in the game.
Coach, it looks like he's having a coming out party today.
Here's a pass to the outside. Long free effort, rattles in and out. Good hustle on the play by Hurst. Shot not going to go off the hands of Halverson, but it will stay with the Blazers on the baseline. 6:56 to go here in the game. A new player in right now.
Number 23, Caleb Binkley's in the game. 6'4", 185 junior.
He looks a lot taller than 6'4", doesn't he?
Yes, he does. He's long.
If we were 6'7", I tell you, this guy might be about the same size.
Yes, he's a long guy.
You never relied on sizes, did you, Coach?
Yeah.
I know a few coaches that, I don't think Coach Buckwalter does that, but a few coaches that maybe cheat a little bit on that. Up, not going to go. Another great rebound, and that time again it's Poindexter. Here comes Poole. 2-on-2. Kicks it back out. Orel with a long three. Orel buries it! Bennett Orel downtown with a sweet stroke. He's got his first tray of the night.
Bennett Orel with the 3 ball from the wing.
Nice lift by Orel on that. Here's another kick. Right down the middle, good back door, up, not going to go. And there's Aiden Miller again, who's been all over the glass tonight for Columbia. Look at him bring it out. And it's off Columbia, I think, out of bounds, and it's going to go back over to the Blazers.
I think that was a push, Coach, on number 4, Miles Halverson.
So Halverson gets called for the push, indeed. That's his 3rd foul. New uniforms heading to the game now for Columbia as Jordan Poole will take a seat. And so will Artie Poindexter. So will Aiden Miller. New players into the game now for Columbia. Damari Sims. They got Orell in there. We'll get the other numbers here. Owen Broom is in. He's a senior. Ladarian Miller. 5:30 left here in the ball game. Lots of motion here from Columbia.
One of the things I like what they're doing, they're really moving the ball.
Look at the back door again. Great job of backdooring by Ladarian Miller and a super pass by Damari Sims.
That's a sign of a good program is when the guys come in off the bench and play the same way that the starters did. Same system, same passes, same hard cuts.
Here's Ladarian Miller. He's got 8 points for the evening. And make it 9.
It's a nice-looking player.
Really is. Only a sophomore. And, of course, his brother's only a junior. And you talk about coming from good basketball stock.
Absolutely.
Dad was a pretty fair player in his day.
He wasn't bad at all.
Down at Solanco, and he played with another guy who went on to play at the University of Maryland. So they were the backcourt down there. Pretty good team in those days. He went on to Temple and Clemson then did Johnny Miller. Second shot, that's up, and that one's going to rattle off the front of the iron. Mennonite has it. A lot of new players in there now. Jason Torres, excuse me. Ball off Columbia. Ladarian Miller coming out of the game. And another new number in there, and this is Darius Diaz-Ellis, a sophomore. Brother of Dominic Diaz-Ellis.
I think he's looking for somebody to guard.
Here's Weaver, strong move, and Weaver up and in. Used his body that time and got good position.
Nice looking player, nice size, nice strength.
6 points in the game tonight, a chance to make it 7 as he heads to the line for the first time this evening. The foul is on Owen Broom, his first. So here's David Weaver at the line, and Weaver with a sweet stroke there. Weaver now with 7 points on the night.
And he averages a double-double.
30-point lead for Columbia, 66-36 here with 4:32 to go in the game. Broom with a little head and shoulder fake.
Columbia.
Very unselfish team here.
Columbia's running their stuff.
And a little throwaway back to the outside.
Nice steal by the big guy.
Taken back. And tipped around. Finally pulled down there by number 13, Derek Hershey, who's in there. Hershey charged the basket. Another tough pass. You can't go too deep. Coming back is Hurst. Hurst, hard move to the basket. Hurst throws it up. He'll get fouled by Orell. For Orell, that's his first foul. It'll be a 2-shot foul, and Hurst will go to the line.
On the other end, Coach, as you said, you don't want to get too deep in there. Sometimes you want to stop where the dashes used to be and shoot what we call a box shot.
Yep, stop at the foul line, create good space, maybe have some passes or a little foul shot. Here's Hurst, up and in. I like the way this kid plays. He is really a hard player. He has 7 points in the game tonight. And, of course, we can get his brother back in, I think, a couple of weeks, Coach estimated, maybe even sooner.
I would love to see him on the floor with his brother.
Well, Columbia and Solanco will be meeting again later in the season. That's not Solanco, but Lancaster Mennonite. And that is the matchup you want to circle on your calendar.
Should be a good one.
Ball out of bounds. 7 points in the game now for Chase Hurst. Columbia with a 66-37 lead. Tough 2 nights here for Lancaster Mennonite. They got drummed last night by Unionville down near Philadelphia. They have to come right back and come up here tonight and play 2 games on the road. Tough schedule, but you build character in those two. There's Orell again. Orell, this one off the iron. Packed out of there.
That Orell kid has a nice stroke. He has good footwork. He stepped into the ball, and I like his form.
One of the things you like
on his shot.
He'll kind of fling it every now and then. You want to see him lift it and then reach into the rim a little bit more sometimes, as he did in that first shot tonight. Nice run.
Nice runner.
Player control foul, though. And there's what you like to see. And number 13, Derek Hershey takes the charge. And Coach Kerry Glover with a big smile on his face over there.
Derek Hershey's trying to earn some more minutes.
And this is audition time. You think you get in there, and again with this team, Coach isn't afraid to play a lot of players, so you want to audition well, and taking the charge is a good start. Here's Sims. Sims kicks it out. Another three look, not going to go. Batted around and yanked down there by Chase Hurst. Comes out with a Hurst. Nice head and shoulder fake there. Kicks it back to the corner. You got a three-point look off the front of the iron. Pulled down again by Hershey for a moment. Who's it going to belong to?
Hershey really gets after it, Coach.
He's in there. He says, Coach, I'm in here to play. Put me in. I want to do some stuff here.
Yeah, he wants to do some things that show up on the tape.
2:08 left in the game. Little fake. Like this guy's game all night, Jordan Lilly.
Yeah.
Here's Chase Hurst. He's trying to make some things happen right now. Throws it up there and finds a way to get it on home. So it wasn't pretty, but it was effective. 9 points in the game now for Chase Hurst. 66-39, the Tide leads it.
Nice play.
And it's going to go off, I think, Columbia out of bounds off the knee of Bennett O'Rell. So important to be quick but don't hurry, as John Wooden used to say, right?
All the time.
You don't want to rush your game. Don't forget, at the end of the game, we'll have our Capital Blue Cross post-game report, where we'll feature the Capital Region Insurance Agency play of the game. And a big guy gets down the lane there for the Blazers and puts it away, and that's Caleb Binkley with his first deuce of the night.
Nice pick and roll.
Like the way the big guy moved there. Binkley only a junior. Up goes Sims, and it does not go. Throwing it back, Broom has it. Here's Sims. Got O'Rell out there. Here's Hershey. Hershey with a three-point look and rolls around, not going to go. Look at the Broom hustle up there, try to get the offensive rebound.
I tell you, the Crimson Tide is really, really getting after it.
And the clock moving now because it is the mercy roll here at the moment. 66-41 as the fans started to stand here, and they love the effort their Tide gave here tonight. Here's Jordan Lilly. Jordan Lilly jammed inside. There it goes back inside to Binkley. Binkley making a move. Binkley trying to go up the left hand. Shows you a little something there.
Nice move.
27 seconds to go. Here's the Tide back with it. And O'Rell back out. You may not need a shot here anymore in this game. And I think Coach Kerry Glover says, let's pull it back out here. We don't need any more shots. Showing some class. And it ticks down 6. Now 5. It's going to go down. And the Tide wins it here tonight in a big one, 66-41, and takes control for the moment of first place in Section 4. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. For the Capital Blue Cross post-game report, our Capital Region Insurance Agency play of the game and the Hoffman Ford player of the game right after this. This is High School Sports Live TV on Fox 43.2.
Groff Tractor is your full-line equipment dealer representing Case Construction and many other leading brands, serving the total sales, rentals, parts, and service needs of its customer. Students, begin your professional journey in a high-demand field with Groff Tractor. Contact us today to discover the power of our technician internship programs. Groff Tractor also offers scheduled maintenance along with 24/7 emergency service. Groff Tractor is your #1 source for everything under construction.
The Jack Giambalvo family of dealerships. 9 great franchises in 5 locations. Buick GMC, Hyundai, Genesis of York, Stettler Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, Giambalvo Hyundai of Hanover, and our newest dealership, Jack Giambalvo Mazda. The Giambalvo family of dealerships. Over 30 million in new and pre-owned inventory. With a reputation for quality service after the sale, Giambalvo is proud to serve your community. Find out why. The Jack Giambalvo family of dealerships. 5 great locations. Online at giambalvo.com.
All across Pennsylvania, families are living their lives in their own homes. Not long ago, none of these families believed it possible. And then they discovered there was someone who could help. What was once only a dream is now a reality. Welcome home.
More choices. More laughter. more time to play, and less need to worry. At Capital Blue Cross, we're driven by a simple goal: to go the extra mile for you through all of life's ups and downs, and to always be there when you need us. Capital Blue Cross, going the extra mile for you.
What are you doing?
Getting the money for the RV we've been wanting. I know you're in there, money.
They're saying we can get a line of credit based on what we've already paid into our home.
Oh, that's pretty clever. Huh? No harm done.
Borrow from your home with our FlexLock line of credit. Have better conversations with your money with F&M Trust.
Everybody knows Hoffman has it. Did you know Hoffman has even more? There's the fully stocked Hoffman Ford Parts and Accessories Department, the Hoffman state-of-the-art collision facility, confidence in our ultra-modern service facility, peace of mind with master technicians, satisfaction with low prices.
Do I really need to say it again? Hoffman has it.
Only at Hoffman Ford, Colonial Park.
Hoffman Ford, just what you're looking for. Hoffman has it.
Welcome back to our Capital Blue Cross post-game report. Columbia wins it tonight 66-41 here at the home of the Tide, and to say they were on fire from the start tonight would be the understatement of the year, Kirk Smallwood.
They came out and made a statement. They pressured them. They made them speed up a little bit. They got turnovers. They finished at the rim, and they got off to a great start and never looked back.
Jeff, it was the Tide was rolling tonight. It was high tide here in the gymnasium, but some of the stats tonight were pretty interesting too.
Well, I take a special look at the threes that Lancaster Mennonite shot. They were 2 for 17, and that's because they were rushed.
Right.
That's because Columbia's pressure was so good tonight.
So important to get those threes in rhythm, but the turnovers tonight too were pretty one-sided that way.
Well, Lancaster Mennonite had 19, and Columbia finished with 12, so there's a big advantage there.
Yeah, Columbia, for the speed they play, you'd say 12, you can kind of absorb a lot of times. What most stood out tonight about this Tide team for you?
I just like how they get after it. I like how they use the different pieces they have. I thought their bench strength was very, very impressive.
I'm anxious to see what Lancaster Mennonite does when they get some of their players back, because they really have been fighting it. They've been on the road the last 2 nights. It's got to be tough for them, but I think you could see the pedigree for this team out there when they play.
Well, first of all, they're well coached, and they usually get better as the year goes on, which I think will happen this year because they're going to get a lot of players back. I want to just say about Columbia, they shared the ball very, very well, and that's why they got a lot of good shots. But you're right, Gary. Lancaster Mennonite is going to get better.
They really are. Let's take a look right now at our Capital Region Insurance Agency play of the game. We got a couple of all-star plays tonight. Let's see which one Chad Edwards decided to pull out for us here this evening. Our Capital Region Insurance Agency play of the game. This might be one of the favorite plays we had all night. Look at that pass. From Ladarian Miller off to Jordan Poole, who's just slicing it from the other side and takes it while coming in the air and puts it right up, all in one fell swoop. And you saw that all night long, the unselfishness that you just talked about here a moment ago, Jeff.
Well, David Weaver was there, but it went through his hands because it was too good a pass.
Yes.
You know, they say 1-on-2, you pass, 1-on-1, you score. And sometimes 1-on-1, you pass too. And right there, you saw a great pass in a 1-on-1 situation. And, of course, tonight, we can pick out a lot of players here in the Hoffman Ford player of the game. Columbia, very balanced. Jordan Poole had 15 points. You had Miller with 14 as well. But the guy that got it tonight, Dejon Giles, came out and had the game of his life here tonight. Starting with that 3, Giles with 13 points here this evening, but blocked shots, got rebounds, played great defense, and finished off underneath against that zone. Good player.
I like the way he hides on the baseline and got a couple feeds for layups. Like that one there.
Do you think he was energized by the old-timers on the sideline?
I don't know about that, but I'll tell you what, he made himself available all night long. Well, for Columbia, we said 15 points for Poole, 13 for Giles, 14 tonight for Breon Miller, who played an outstanding game. And his brother coming off the bench as well had 9 points too. On the other side, the leaders in scoring tonight, 9 points for Chase Hurst, also 9 points for Xavier Sumrall, and also 9 points for Jordan Lilly in this one. 66-41, Columbia takes the lead now in Section 4, but only by a game here over this Lancaster Mennonite team. And it's going to be interesting when they have their rematch later on. Tuesday night, We're going to be back in the mid-pen, and man, we love the backyard brawls, don't we? Central Dauphin East against Central Dauphin, always a great game. That'll be this coming Tuesday at 7:30. We'll tip off at 7:35 right here on High School Sports Live TV. Thanks to Chad Edwards and the whole crew tonight for doing a great job. Thanks to Mark Whistler, who really helped us here at the gymnasium tonight. Thanks to all of you for watching. Of course, Jeff Thompson doing stats tonight. Kirk Smallwood doing a great job on analysis. I'm Gary Sutton. Once again, Columbia wins at 66-41. Have a great evening, everyone, from all of us here at Fox 43.2.